Welcome to Out of Office, Field Visits with Austin Kennedy. Wright Service Corp is a prominent leader in several environmental services, providing integrated vegetation management, forest management and reforestation, technology solutions, sustainability solutions, and more. Join me as we visit the Wright family of companies' job sites across North America, from Canada to Puerto Rico, and right here in our own backyard, Des Moines, Iowa. Welcome to sunny Leavenworth, Kansas, and welcome back to Out of the Office with Austin Kennedy. Today's feature is Wright Tree Service and some of the incredible heavy equipment capabilities that Wright Tree has. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for coming back. All right, we're here with Taylor. She's an advanced trimmer for Wright Tree Service. Taylor, can you first just tell us a little bit about your career path? How did you get to Wright?
Well, I've always loved to be outdoors, and I'm into the hard physical labor. I had heard about Wright's online, and I went ahead and called the company and got a hold of somebody and told them I was interested. What
sort of work do? You work with specialized equipment, by and large?
I do. I work with the heavy equipment side.
Okay.
Yep. Run a skid steer with a mulcher head on it, or mower, and a quick trim.
What sort of different roles have you had with the company?
I started on a bucket truck as a groundsman. Clearing brush, dragging and chipping brush, whatever my foreman needed from me, and went, between a couple crews, learning more and more from each bucket truck. And now the last year and a half, I've been on the equipment side of it.
All right, Taylor, you've been with us now a couple of years, had a lot of good experience.
Yes.
What sort of advice would you give your younger Taylor before starting the work that you've had with us?
Walking into this, I was really nervous, being the only female. It's a male-dominated work line. Definitely just kind of let loose. I was super nervous, super anxious, very self-conscious, didn't know really what I was getting into, and I came out here, and the guys have been more than welcoming, helped me in any aspect, every aspect, and made sure they've taken care of me and know what I need to know.
That's great to hear. All right, Taylor, thank you for all your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate all your help.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful morning here in Leavenworth, Kansas. I'm Austin Kennedy. We are on the job site for our directional bore drilling team. We have our project manager, Rob, here, and he's going to talk to us about this incredible piece of equipment we have behind us.
And this is our directional drill machine for boring through rock. We also have 3 machines that are capable of doing dirt applications. We've got a set of reamers over here for doing bigger pipes and some of our pole heads for that, and also our locator.
Talk to me about this machine's capabilities. How much rock can you move through?
We're capable of 600 feet with this machine. Our dirt machine's up to 1,000 foot.
And how long have you been working with this?
We've been directional drilling for 20 plus years. I've been with the company 3 years, and we've had this machine for about 2.
So Rob, with this particular piece of equipment, can you talk to me about some of the unique benefits that it affords us and the communities in which we can deploy this piece of equipment as compared to like open trenching, for instance?
Yes, less disruption by going through a block of houses. We can just go through, use a vacuum excavator, spot all utilities, and then come behind and drill without any interruption and minimal impact to yards.
All right, Rob, why don't you give us a little bit of a basic tour of this piece of equipment?
Okay, inside of this head, we have a beacon that will tell us everything we need to know, which we can see here on this screen. This will give us what sort of a pitch we're at, and also a depth, and how we can turn this head to guide it to the next location.
What do we call this?
A locator.
A locator, okay. So it's kind of our eyes above ground for what's going on underground.
Correct.
So how many of these do we have?
We have 4 of these machines currently. 1 rock drill and 3 dirt machines.
Do they differ in terms of the size or the depth to which they can reach?
Depth's not so much a factor. The distance is.
Yeah, the distance,
is a bit factor, and that all depends on the type of soil that you're running in.
All right, we are here with Oscar, field safety professional with Wright Tree Service. So tell me about your role. You're a field safety professional.
I get to go out and help teach newer climbers the safe way to climb and easiest ways to climb without hurting themselves or putting damage on their bodies.
Yeah, tell me, how has climbing changed over the years, and what sort of advancements have been made that make it easier and more ergonomic?
Oh, well, everything. It's from the suspenders to keep the chainsaw weight off your hips, and all the way to the new systems that we're doing to make it more ergonomic on your body.
How long have you been climbing?
I've been climbing for almost 20 years.
What do you enjoy about Wright Tree?
Everything. It's a family environment. Everybody's willing to help each other. I don't think Wrights have always gone above and beyond for me.
All right, Oscar, you are wearing a lot of specialized equipment here. Could you give me a little bit of a quick lesson in the different pieces that you're wearing?
Okay, so this is my harness. Keeps me in the tree and comfortable. My bridge and attachment point's got a swivel. My safety lanyard, it's my secondary attachment point. My suspenders to keep the weight off my body with the chainsaws and the gear. The knee ascender, a little aid to help me climb up the rope.
And tell me, how does it give you an advantage in climbing?
Okay, so
what does it do?
the ascenders make you use the strongest muscles of your bodies, which are your legs, so you're not wearing your upper body out. It takes a lot of stress off your body.
All right, Oscar, looking at your tie-in point up here, tell me, why did you choose that location?
I chose that because it's the highest center point of the tree, and that gives me the most leeway into climbing and trimming. Also puts all the force of my weight in compression with the tree and reduces the chance of levering and breaking.
Okay. And help us understand that a little bit more layman's terms. What would this compression and avoiding the levering, what would a bad tie-in look like?
A bad tie-in would be bending, bowing, putting torque on the main stem.
On the limb.
Yes.
Okay.
And we want to avoid that.
Yep. You don't want that snapping and breaking.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you for all your help, Oscar,
Thanks
today,
so much.
understanding your equipment here and the path that we would take up the tree and sort of a day in the life of a safety professional. All right, we're here with Shannon, who manages a really cool part of Wright Tree Services operations, our erosion control operations. Thanks for letting us join you, Shannon.
Yes, thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your career with Wright and what does erosion control mean?
What we do is we take the Wright Tree Service biomass that they create with their service of trimming and clearing and grubbing, and we repurpose that into our filter media, which is one of the main components of the filter sock.
So you're talking about these filter socks, which are the big green snake-looking things we got here behind us. And you talked about biomass. What does that mean to the layperson? What is biomass?
The biomass is what's generated wood chips, basically, which is perfect for the filter media, we call it, that filters the water runoff in these socks. So
okay, we stuff these filter socks with wood chips.
Yep. And
where do we place them?
Anywhere there's disturbed soil or where you want the runoff. Usually there's a SWIP or a design made up, or you can pretty much disc checks. You can use them pretty much anywhere your imagination can use them, where you need filtered runoffs. And actually, the organic matter, the wood chips inside the sock, have some capabilities of removing invisible pollutants, petroleums, fertilizers, just pretty much anything that might be there you don't even know about. So I think we could all agree it's better to keep it on site rather than in the waterways. So,
isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a really cool thing.
Part of the full cycle of what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut down some trees for right-of-ways and things like that, and then use that material to build these filter socks, which then literally strip out contaminants.
Right. I think the utility right-of-way stuff has been really good for us right now. Construction projects like road construction, anything over an acre in town is required. That's
really cool. Another feel-good part of what Wright Tree does.
Yes.
Shannon, thank you so much for helping educate us on the filter socks and the
absolutely
erosion control. We're here with Josh, who's a general foreperson for Wright Tree Service, who has a rich history in heavy equipment operations. So we're going to talk to him about this big gnarly piece we got here. Josh, can you tell me, what are we looking at?
We're looking at a Cat 325 excavator with a Fecon mulching head.
What does Wright Tree utilize this for?
Mainly right-of-way clearing. We can take down big trees, mulch them into what you see on the ground.
Tell me, Josh, A little bit about your career path. How did you get started doing some heavy equipment work, and how did you get to Wright?
So actually, I worked at Wright's at high school. A few years later, I started working for Blaine actually, and then when Wright's bought Blaine out, I came over with him and been here since the beginning of the excavation side.
Okay, you enjoy working with Wright?
I do.
Why so?
It's what we do isn't repetitive, so we don't do the same thing every day. We are very fluid. We do a lot of different things every day, so it keeps you on your toes, and I like that.
A little bit of variety.
Yes.
Tell me, how is it different being a general floor person rather than an equipment operator?
Well, I don't get to run equipment anymore very often, so that's a big deal, but learning how to manage guys and managing expectations in comparison to just me being in the machine doing the job and producing the finished product. I kind of want to think of ourselves as like a one-stop shop for anything right-of-way clearing. That's a broad spectrum of things, but so we do everything from access prep, which involves building roads with dozers, installing culverts for access, gates, and then when you move into the actual clearing, we grub trees with our excavators with thumbs. We then dispose of the trees with our horizontal grinder, and then we also move into the final. When the right-of-way is done and all the work's been done, we do restoration. Now that includes removing everything we've done for access, but then also drill seeding, we power rake, install straw mat in sensitive areas, erosion control logs, what you've seen with Shannon. We do a lot of things.
Very good, thanks Josh.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining another Out of the Office episode with Austin Kennedy. Today we focused on Wright Tree Service in Leavenworth, Kansas. Next time we'll be in sunny Puerto Rico with Wright Tree Service of Puerto Rico. Hope you can join us there.